This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
In 05. Now, I saw this story that reminded me of the Miami Dolphins. And it's got to be, I got to tell you, when I see a story like this, I get an uneasy feeling for that team, and I don't end up feeling positive about it. I end up getting a negative vibe from it, and I think it's a terrible, terrible situation to be in, because it's not realistic of what you end up getting out of it. So the Falcons, I read this article. Did you know that the Atlanta Falcons have 17 first-round picks, former first-round picks, on their team? So I was reading this article about this, that, you know, they've got this roster and they've got 17 and all this stuff, and that they're loaded, and that they could make a, you know, run this year. And you know what I thought of? I thought of the Dolphins in 95 when Shula had the 19 first-round picks. Then a couple of years later, the Oakland Raiders had, I believe it was 21 first-round picks. It was more than Miami's 19. I don't know what year it was. If you're a Raiders fan, you might know what the hell I'm talking about.
That was the team they would talk about. There's not enough footballs on the field,
right,
for all the guys they had.
Right, and both teams flopped. Both, okay? Miami was a disaster, and that was the talk, and people wrote articles about it, and oh, my Lord, Miami is loaded. They've got 19 former first-rounders. And part of collecting all those first-rounders, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's the Raiders, whether it's the Dolphins, you're actually picking up failed first-round picks from other teams. It's not like you hit on 17, 19, or 21 successful first-round picks, okay? Because if they were successful, well, in today's football, you can't pay them all, so you can't keep all of them, right? So that's how you accumulate those kind of things. And then we use these articles as a source of creating confidence, or that they're headed in the right direction because they've got all these former first-round picks on their team. And that doesn't mean anything, dude, because half of the first-rounders fail every single year. At least half fail every single year. So there's a lot of failed first-round picks. So when I saw that story, and they're talking about the Falcons and their 17 former first-round picks, immediately I thought Dolphins and I thought Raiders. And I know Raiders fans have the same nightmare memory that obviously Dolphins do too, because it's something that was just hammered away by the media, used as some kind of talking point, some way of proving to you that, oh, they're going to be awesome because they've got all these former first-round picks. Like, who gives a rat's ass if you got Jamarcus Russell handing off to Sammy Smith? Who cares? They both suck. They both never made it. They couldn't get it done. And first-rounders like that are all over. 17 first-rounders for the Falcons. Let me tell you something. Anybody out there that's a Falcons fan and they're using that as, oh, well, you know, our team's loaded. We got 17 former first-rounders. Please remind them of the Dolphins and the Raiders when you see them. Okay, tell them the story. Because I know young people, they don't have perspective. They haven't lived through everything, right? And not that I've lived through everything, but man, I've lived through a lot already in 53 years. And when it comes to sports in 30, I've covered a lot. So I've lived a lot, I've covered a lot, I've kind of experienced it, and I've told you guys this many, many times over and over and over and over again. Getting older is no fun, obviously. Okay, your body's breaking down. You're losing everything that you had back in the day. But the one thing you do have as you get older is perspective because of your experiences. And to me, when I saw that Falcons story, man, right away I said, all right, this is the Dolphins and the Raiders all over again. Crazy stuff.